Hi.
Mm.
I'm very touched by when you share about your story, and there's something that deeply resonates with me about it. I think what my question is, I'm very familiar with the dark feelings, with that, and yet there's something about how I am with that that concerns me a little bit, that I keep being with it, what I think is welcoming it and being with it, and yet it keeps coming over and over and over. And I feel like, what is with my relationship to that, that is perhaps a form of resistance? I don't know. But in welcoming, it's nothing. I don't feel like, I don't know. It's not like a surrender. I'm just a little flummoxed about it.
Yes. We, again, yes, I'm just going to surf on the edge of this and see what speaks to you. So I'll just start by saying we should apply a little caution to the idea of welcoming everything, whilst this is something that's spoken of very frequently. It can become a sticking point in the sense that welcoming everything, and I've also heard very often this phrase, which is being with everything, being with the dark emotion, sitting with the dark emotion is often a phrase that is used, can be a sticking point in the sense that the self, the finite self, the one who is experiencing, is the one who is sitting with it, who is being with it, who is welcoming it. And therefore it's a thing. And if it's a thing, then I have a relationship with it. And if you're constantly being with it, well, then that's what's going to happen. You're going to be with it. If you're constantly sitting with it, it's going to be sitting with you. So the invitation or the words of welcoming everything is not meant to be a sticking place for the self. More valuable is to really what welcoming everything means is simply pointing to the tendency to suppress feelings, yeah? Which is endemic in the human condition. Most people suppress something. They don't like this feeling, so they'll push it away. They'll pretend it's not there. They'll just not feel it, and so on. And that causes many problems. So that's what really welcoming everything is. It's just being open to experiencing whatever is here. There's no judgment. There's no evil feeling. There is unwelcome and maybe challenging feelings, but they're not evil. They're just feelings. So that's what welcoming means. But again, I sense with you, there's something more. And I'm wondering whether a different kind of approach would help, which is when the feeling is here, because obviously you're not resisting it, you're not suppressing it. It's being felt, whatever the dark feeling is, yeah? Rather than, well, I'm welcoming it, but it's not changing and it's coming back and it's coming back. No. When that feeling is here, ask yourself, contemplate, investigate within yourself as you sit here. And here is this feeling. Is it possible to recognize the groundless ground within which this feeling is being experienced? This is not a denial of the feeling, which is a texture. But the texture, the tapestry, is woven upon a canvas. And in this case, the canvas is invisible. It's that very subtle sense of beingness, is it not true, that's always here? Whether the feeling is prevalent or not. So this expands your attention. It expands the perspective. It softens the perspective. And it undoes the self. So there's no self that's being with the feeling. It is recognizing the groundless ground out of which self and all experiences appear. You may experience this as a kind of lightness. So when that feeling, that texture revisits you, it may, and we don't know, yes, you have to discover and be open to it. It may have a slightly different texture as time goes on. Your job, if you like, is to recognize that subtle, invisible, groundless canvas, space, awareness, beingness that is always here, within which this feeling, this texture, this tapestry is appearing, and then disappears and may reappear. But you may find that the reappearance has a slightly different texture to it over time. Yeah, can you see how this shifts your attention? It's not a denial. It's not a pulling away from it. It's recognizing what holds it. And what holds it is open awareness. There's never anything else but open awareness that holds everything, holds the whole of existence. When I say hold, it's not limited by a boundary. It's open, unbounded, infinite holding,